Patrick Tannerley at ptlarts.com, arts.com. Here I am in Brighton in my studio, and I'm just going to talk. I'm just going to talk. So, we're up and running. You've got a YouTube channel and you're 20 days into it, already being able to pick your ideas up to pieces, your own ideas to pieces, and present them to the world. Well, quickly realizing that, the world may be just 1 or 2 views, if that. Probably from kind friends who think you've maybe lost your head or something. Then you wonder whether you have indeed lost the plot. If you're like me, it's hard to sit and binge watch yourself to see what the past 3 weeks or so have produced. Don't be discouraged, because if you look at your first video and the one that you've just done today, you will see a massive improvement. If you're at the beginning of all this like me, then it is time to congratulate yourself. Most artists love to talk about what they will do, X, Y, or Z, and seldom do it. You've done it. And the ways that you begin and the way that you begin to execute your content is beginning to become much better. Or if you haven't done it, then I definitely can attest to I can confirm that everything gets massively better when you give yourself this challenge. So there are good odds on it being even better after the next 20 days. I just took a couple of days out, not because didn't know what to do, but because I was on a course that was all about taking responsibility for my happiness. And it kind of reminds me that the real reason I want to share my life through my arts practice is to help others and add some richness to their lives. That in itself naturally enhances my personal happiness. So a bit about content. I'm discovering that my 4 categories so far are beginning to make sense. And I reckon that after 90 days, I will have enough content to do the next challenge and just maybe begin to promote some of my growing skills to help others. At the same time, I'm using the energy that is accumulating as a driving force. This enables me to produce as much, if not a lot more work than I was doing before. This is because I am internalizing the why. I'm internalizing this desire to help others being the driving force of what I'm doing. And it's amazingly powerful. At the same time, I'm using the energy that is accumulating to have more ideas as well, to create more ideas. So I'll illustrate with a piece of work that I'm developing how I can incorporate the making of it into the building of my business. The creative brain and the business brain dialogue, I like to think of it. So I've just started working on this painting, which you may recognize as being a bit like John Lennon, I hope. So I'm at about an hour in with acrylics. So my process is just about there, which I've painted over with acrylics, is the center of the canvas. I always work from the center of the canvas because I find that, and it is my process, so it's not the way you have to do it. But if you work out in a spiral like this, then you can get the relationship between the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the width of the head, the height of the head, the shoulders, and where everything is, whilst you're looking at a picture that you're not copying but using as to get your interpretation. I find I can work from the center. So for my business, that is my why. The center is my business. And I've mentioned it before. The center is, why am I doing it? And I've like mentioned that already. The why is that I want to help other people have some richness in their life, basically, through painting. So I start at the center. I position the parts of my painting in relation to the center, and then the color and harmony, which is more illustrated on this painting behind, which is a young Elvis, shows the color harmonies. Partly why I picked this picture to paint, because I really liked the oranges and the colors and the pinks and the way that they work together. So if you like the color harmony, it's like the brand, it's like your brand, or it's like my brand. So it's not that my brand is like Elvis Presley or John Lennon. Mind you, I wouldn't mind. But it could be a while. But the brand is what people see as your overall work. And like your work, whatever it is, whatever artwork you do, unless you make a real point of trying to not have any congruency with what you're doing as part of your art, that in itself becomes a congruency or the brand. As it happens, I sort of paint in a particular style. So the more people begin to say, oh, that's a PTL painting, that's a Patrick Ternelé painting. And this is what we do. We don't need to try to do it. We just need to put our work out. And so it's the same thing. It's like color harmony. So when I get to this later on with this painting, I'm putting more paint, which I'm going to be working on a Facebook Live after I do this video. I'll put some more acrylic paint on there before I start doing oil. Then I'm already starting to have an idea of this color harmony. I've got browns, and underneath here is like dark greens. So I've got an idea of what I want. So in a sense, you can take this model not only for your overall business, but for each particular product. It's possible to approach it in the same way. So suddenly I become excited about building my business based on what I'm doing, because this isn't something that somebody's shown me what to do this way. This is something that I've developed, and I am developing all the time. So not to get completely to it, I get very excited about the fact that it makes me excited to sit down and do the work I need to do on the computer. It's not like, oh, I hate doing that, I just want to do the painting. It's like, because I can approach it in the same, so why am I doing it? Why am I sorting, like this morning I was trying to sort out my face. I've got loads of Facebook pages, they're all over the shop, and I'm trying to get them. So if they're a bit crazy, well, I'm a bit crazy, that's okay. But at the moment, they've all got the wrong information, they've got the wrong websites, etc., etc. So I put that right. It's just the same as like balancing my harmony for my brand. It's like putting the things in place. It's like getting this relationship between the mouth, the nose, and the eyes. It's the same thing. It's the same process. It's not different. And I keep talking about it for my sake as much as anybody else's, because it's a mind blowing. It's mind blowing. It doesn't have to be different than what you do. So the more I think about it, it just always comes down to this one point, doesn't it? Which is like at the core of, in this why, is like a mindset. It's mindset. So that is where the categories that I've got, and the 4 categories building this content, and also like the principles of my personal principles are beginning to become, I'm really getting clearer about what they are. What we can tend to do is not produce any content or do anything or try and make an art business because we think we've got to have the perfect idea and the perfect. But no, hey, forget it. You can't have a painting until you paint it. It's exactly the same. And you can't really know how it works until you look at it. So there's loads of stuff that I've got to learn about really looking at it. as far as business goes. Like, and I find that really, really hard. But I found it hard when I started to paint, and I'm getting better at it. So it's just a case of just taking it one step at a time, one platform at a time. Go into it and see what words you need to put. The copy, the word. There's like, if you're a writer, great. I'm a sort of I've done a lot of writing, but at the same time, not directed towards anybody necessarily reading it, but or even worrying about whether anybody reads it. So the points I've got is, like, for me, it's inspire, reveal, connect. It's on my website. It's part of my brand. It's part of what my principles are. So inspiration, being open to get it. And if you can't get it, give it. And that becomes inspiring in itself. Like for me, doing these videos, it draws it from the depths of my life, even if nobody's going to watch it. I'll get clearer and clearer. One day, in my third challenge or whatever, my third 90 days, when I'm 18 months down the road, suddenly somebody's going to start watching my videos. I know they are. But by then, I won't take so long to get to the point. So revealing what you need to do. So that's revealing your wisdom, which you have that wisdom. You don't need to get it from somebody else. Of course, within the inspiration, you develop the wisdom also to grab hold of the things that really work for you and discard the things that you don't need gradually. And there's mistakes there, and you take the wrong thing and invest in the wrong thing. But hopefully, but it's like a case of working at it every day. Your wisdom sharpens up. So you reveal your wisdom is one thing, apart from revealing loads of other things. Connect with other people with your work, and connect with the root, the center point. So I always go back to the center point. Well, having said that, for example, I've done loads of paintings where I haven't been able to work out what is wrong because I've got a fixation that there's something right about what I'm doing. Oh, no, well, the nose is okay. The nose is good. The rest, there's something else wrong. It can't be the nose because I really like the nose. And eventually, the nose wasn't right at all. It's just like about a millimetre or a millimetre and a half, which makes a massive difference. Slightly long. So you have to I've had to battle to just let go of the nose. But actually, when you reposition it, it's no big deal. It's very strange. And I feel that similar things are going to happen to me as I develop this business. So your artwork is you. Your artwork is your business. The creative brain, the business brain can actually have dialogue together. They don't have to be separate. And also, business doesn't have to start with a B. It can start with a creativity. Oh, wow. Business doesn't have to start with B. It can start with creativity. Thumbs up. You've got to like that one. Thumbs down if you don't like it. Thanks very much for watching. ptlarts.com. Have a look. Speak to you on the next video. Thank you.